Hey everybody, it's Nick from Android Headlines, and this is our review of the Xiaomi Mi Box. With an innocuous name like Mi Box, you might be wondering what in the world this thing actually does. Xiaomi's first official big US product comes in an incredibly small package with an unbelievably small price. At $69, this Android TV powered unit will blow your socks off with its specs and capabilities, yet will easily find a home nestled in an entertainment unit or placed inconspicuously on a shelf somewhere. Xiaomi's minimal design language here is a thing of beauty. The simple black box with a little design flair to it is all that's waiting to greet you upon opening the box. You'll find its minimalist design more resembles a pebble plucked from a Zen garden rather than a standard piece of electronics, and the minimal number of ports on the back reflect this philosophy. Providing essentially only what's needed, you'll find an HDMI 2.0A port, USB 2.0 port, 3.5mm SPDIF audio out, and a power port on the back. Nestled under the hood are some pretty low power components, including a quad-core ARM Cortex-A53 CPU, Mali T450 GPU, 2 gigs of RAM, and 8 gigs of internal storage. What's really interesting is that Xiaomi decided that instead of using a micro SD card like a lot of other devices do, it would actually include a full-size USB port on the back to allow for expandable storage via a standard USB flash drive. What's great is that all you have to do is plug it into the back of the unit, and the Mi Box will automatically ask you to make it part of the internal storage. This internal storage selection is also known as Adoptable Storage, which actually tricks apps and games into thinking that it's just writing straight to the internal storage on the box rather than the internal storage plus that external stick you put in there. You'll be connecting to your favorite devices via the 802.11 AC dual-band Wi-Fi and up to Bluetooth 4.0 for peripheral devices. The Mi Box surprisingly outputs not just up to 4K video, but also includes full support for HDR video as well, meaning you can take absolute full advantage of that brand new TV you just nabbed on Black Friday. Xiaomi has also included both DTS and Dolby Digital Plus audio support for up to 7.1 channel surround sound via that SPDIF connector on the back, completing the full modern home theater experience. The box isn't the thing you'll be interfacing with the most though, it's the included remote. Closely resembling the remote that shipped with the Google Nexus player, the Mi Box's remote is a very simple affair that's both light and small. This remote feels perfectly paired to the Mi Box's design and construction, not just because of its size and weight, but in its incredible simplicity. A large, nondescript wheel sits on the face with a circular button in the center. This isn't a wheel that turns though, it's just a redesigned directional pad with left, right, up, and down buttons. It's also not immediately obvious that this middle one is a button at all, and in fact, unless you accidentally clicked it, you may very well never know. Above this D-pad sits a power button that's all too easy to press as the device goes to sleep the instant you press it. While it's nice to have a quick way to put the device to sleep, pressing it by accident can get irritating since you have to wake it back up again. The only other option, of course, is to have this button shut the unit down, which you probably don't want. Having some text labels on the other buttons would really help identify what these buttons all do, too, as even the volume buttons can be misconstrued for other functions since there's nothing that actually says volume on the controller. Up top sits the microphone, which is integral for that excellent voice search Android TV has built in. You can literally search for anything, even vague requests, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to deliver what you want and offer multiple services to watch or play it on. The biggest oversight here is the complete lack of a play/pause button, something that has been common on remotes for the past few decades. While this seems to bring about simplicity on the surface, it actually complicates things and removes an integral function that now has to be handled via more than one click or directional press, and really should have just been added. Android TV as a whole is entirely the same here as you'll find in any other player or TV powered by it, and much like Android Wear is kept more or less the same across devices. Impressively enough, Xiaomi actually includes $76 of promotional material with the Mi Box, meaning this product is effectively better than free if you took advantage of everything. The only real customization you'll see here is the Mi Recommends section with personalized app recommendations, many of which are part of that promotional material that comes in the box. For instance, you'll get $50 towards a Sling TV subscription if you choose to do so, $5 towards Vudu credit, free months of Pandora, and CBS All Access as well. It's definitely a great value considering many will likely use these services on a normal basis anyway. Android TV has tons of apps too, completely eclipsing the old Google TV ecosystem and providing almost everything you need. Lack of Amazon Prime Instant Video definitely hurts, and hopefully we'll see that silly feud Google and Amazon have had for a while end so that consumers can benefit from calmer waters. You'll also find it's difficult to completely cut the cord on cable or satellite without some tweaking. And while it's certainly possible to get everything you've ever wanted out of Android TV as a viable replacement for monthly bills, you'll have to do some legwork to get there. Still, the range of apps offered on the Google Play Store is stunning, and that includes plenty of apps as well as games too. Setting up the Mi Box is almost effortless, and only required me to pair it with my phone via Bluetooth, completing the entire account setup process with a single password input. It was pretty surreal to see it work this well and require effectively zero configuration on my part, completing the cycle of simplicity in product design. All the apps you'll find in the Play Store are specifically made for Android TV, which means everything is made to be viewed on a TV and used with a simple remote. This includes games too, but plenty of games will have that controller required tag, meaning you'll either need to pick up Xiaomi's own gaming controller for around $30 or pick up your own personal Bluetooth controller instead. Graphically, this isn't going to compete against the latest consoles or even last generations most of the time, but what it doesn't always get right in detail of frame rate, it certainly makes up for in resolution. Many titles still won't support full 4K, but you're always going to get at least 1080p out of this, and that's something even current generation consoles don't always do. Video playback is key here though, and that's definitely something the Mi Box absolutely shines at. With 4K and HDR playback, it's difficult to not recommend this as a must-buy for that new TV you bought. Of course, if it doesn't already have these functions built in, that is, and that might be the biggest hurdle for some folks. Many TVs now come with Google Cast, Chromecast, or whatever Google feels like calling it this month, and as a result, it might make the Mi Box null and void for some folks. For those of us who have a less desirable OS on their TV, or a TV without any real smart functions, this is an amazing way not just to cast the highest quality, high-resolution video to your TV, but also a complete replacement for Google's own Chromecast Ultra, and for the same price too. With this insanely low price and all these great features, there's no reason you shouldn't be buying this little box ASAP, even with the performance issues we cited. We hope you enjoyed that review and will subscribe to us for more content by clicking down below. Find us on your favorite social media outlet, and don't forget to check out AndroidHeadlines.com for 24/7 Android-based news coverage. Thanks for watching, and until next time.